Good morning. How are you? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tilt this down. There we go. Stop moving. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Holly Berube. I'm a relationship coach that supports individuals, couples, and corporations in having win-win partnerships in their relationships in their life. So by specializing through communication, different types of personality style work, and so many other things, I'm here to help you find the ways to get through little obstacles that might be a nag or annoying in your relationship. So good morning. Thank you. Welcome to my page. I appreciate you being here. This is unofficially called The Holly Show, and I'm committed to bringing these videos to you Monday through Thursday at, let's just call it what it is, 8:45 a.m. ish Eastern. I was saying 8:30 for a long time. 8:30 doesn't happen. So 8:45 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday, here on my personal Facebook page. So whether you are watching here or on another place on social media, thank you so much for being here. If you are watching this live, please put a 1 in the comments or type live. If you're watching on a replay, type 2 in the comments, type replay. And today's topic is going to be about the secret key to longevity in your relationship. And I'm also going to cover the things that are not the secret key. So for example, I'm not going to say things like happy wife, happy life. Okay. I'm not going to be suggesting something like that. And I'll talk about why that won't be one of those options. So say hello in the comments. Tell me where you are watching from. I'm happy to be here with you today. And before I talk about the topic of the day, the key to longevity in your relationship, the secret key, I want to quickly announce that my 3-day virtual boot camp, which is 45 minutes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening, I have a date change. So it will no longer be beginning on June 6th. It's going to now be on June 20th. June 21st, June 22nd, each evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, 45 minutes. It's a live session. Everything is recorded in case you miss it. And there's over $500 in bonuses when you sign up for the $37 ticket price admission. So if you are interested in that boot camp, it is called the 3 Secrets to Better Communication in Your Relationship. If that is something that you are looking, that you could find that will be helpful in your relationship, I promise you it is a game changer. In addition to all the bonuses that I'm giving you, audio bonuses, mini trainings, secret freebies, things like that, go ahead and type bootcamp in the comments below and stay tuned for more information. I have the sign-up pages ready to go, so I can send you that info. Just comment bootcamp and I'll get with you about the best fit for you. All right, so I don't know who's all going to be here today. My mom is here. That's it. So good morning, Mom. Hi, thank you for being my #1 fan. Okay. All right, so the secret key to longevity in a relationship. So one of the things that, let's talk about what doesn't work and where this was inspired by. So there is a really, I'll admit, fun Facebook group that I am a part of. I'm more of just a spectator in there. It's a group, excuse me, of all women from all over the country, and they talk about all things. There's really nothing off limits. And a lot of the times, the things that get discussed are relationship based, specifically people who are in unhappy or unhealthy relationship situations or issues that some mothers are having with raising their kids, or dating issues. You know, they went on a bad date, or they got ghosted, or this person texted me this. What does this mean? So, of course, I always am interested in the questions that happen in that group that are related to relationships. And so when I do chime in, it's typically answering one of those. And something that I have noticed is, generally speaking, when a relationship is not working out, we're becoming a culture that, especially since we have more knowledge and awareness of mental, let's call it like unhealthy mental states, people are very quick to diagnose their partner, whether it's someone they're dating or somebody that they are in a long-term commitment or married to. People are really quick to say things like, oh, they are, I'll just, name the most common one people throw out is narcissist, right? They're like, oh, they're a narcissist, they're a narcissist, they're a narcissist. And the reality is, when they share the story, one, they're not a professional that could diagnose a narcissist officially. And people just jump to conclusions often. And so whenever we see an unhealthy behavior in our partner, one of the things that I've just noticed comes up often is this desire to slap a label on it, like diagnose it, put a label on it, put it in a box, assume that they're like these people over here or this person that, we knew in the past or this family member. Like it's kind of out of control because the majority of people who are throwing labels around are not qualified to give those labels. So that's one issue that I've seen. The other thing that comes up is there's a lot of people who are still stuck on something I mentioned earlier, which is the phrase happy wife, happy life, right? And even in my Facebook group, I have a Facebook group that's a group coaching program called Happy Spouse, Happy House. And happy wife, happy life, what it insinuates is that when that one particular partner, in this case, the wife, is pleased, gets her way, that everything else falls into place. And what this is creating culturally is a place where we are encouraging women's partners to be passive, right? To be like, oh, well, she's happy, so I'm happy. And what happens with that is, albeit sometimes it's joking, right? What happens is it creates a culture where people may be unhappy, but they will find ways to hide it. They will harbor resentment. They'll hold on to things that are just not working for the longest time and cover it up with happy wife, happy life, right? Or they'll say things like, oh, we get on each other's nerves day in and day out, but that's normal. And that's just the way that it's supposed to be, or something like that. And it's simply not healthy. It's not healthy. And in the long run, it does lead to relationships falling apart. Or if they don't fall apart and a unit stays together for whatever reason, out of comfort or because of kids or whatever it is, it creates so many more arguments. So this is a culture that we're creating. We're quick to diagnose, we're quick to label, and if it's not that, we might be following the mantra of happy wife, happy life, and we're creating one partner who's overpowering and one partner who is passive and resentful. And you can always flip that too. I know I'm saying happy wife, happy life, but you can apply it to any relationship. Really, even with parenting, some parents are like, as long as they get their way, happy parent, whatever, it doesn't matter what the kid is feeling. And I get that there needs to be structure in raising children, but there's just a distinction to be made here. So back to the title of this video, the key to a successful long-term relationship, the secret key is a regular, consistent meeting between you and your partner. And the way that, I've talked about this in videos before. One of my best friends, she and her husband do this on a regular basis. I know a lot of people who also do something similar for finances, where they sit down every week and have a financial conversation of what they're spending on that week, what bills they need to pay, etc. But when I say having a weekly meeting, this is something that I encourage all of my clients to do with their partner. Doesn't matter if they're dating or if they are in, they're married or something more long-term. The power of this is there's a particular format that you can use in that conversation that can be really beneficial to your relationship. So the first thing I always tell my clients to do is when they sit, so first is have a time every single week that this is going to happen. So date night, for example, that might be consistent if you get out once a week on a date with your partner, but that might not be realistic and it might not be the time that you want to bring that up. So I often encourage something simple like a Sunday evening, right? Like put the kids to bed if you have children or raising a family, and then have a sit down, the two of you, or even just get into bed early and just lay there and talk. And this can be very short and simple. It doesn't have to be something drawn out, but it can be something as simple as starting by saying what you really appreciated about the person that week. So it could be something like, just take turns. The 3 things you appreciate from the previous week, or just appreciate, period. Don't even worry about a number of things that your partner did that week that you really, really respected and appreciated. So maybe one thing, you start with the positive. So one thing could be something like, I really appreciated you helping me in the yard. I know you were really exhausted after a long week at work, and I'm so thankful that you helped me in the yard because it took the pressure off of me and it made the work so much easier. Or it could be something like, I really appreciated the one morning I was running late and you made me breakfast and coffee and handed it to me on the way out the door because I was so caught up in my thing. I didn't even know that I needed that, but you saved me and it was able to like start to turn my mood around, right? So you find things, you think of things from the week, share with your partner, like, I really appreciated this moment. Or, hey, I really appreciated when I was disciplining our daughter that when she wasn't listening to me, that you stepped in and offset it and brought it balanced so that she heard what I was saying. So it didn't get out of control or mean. So that you can give acknowledgments for being a great teammate, being a great partner. You can give acknowledgments for being a great co-parent. Even if you are, doing something similar with a co-parent or someone you're not even in a relationship anymore. So many co-parenting situations, those could also be remedied by using a similar method of having a conversation of what you've really appreciated about each other in the last week. So that's the first step is setting the time each week to have it done. And then start by each of you saying what you appreciated about the other person from the previous week. And then the second thing that you would mention is asking of the person, this is something where I could see a room for improvement. Right? This is where I could see a room for improvement. Now, in this category, it might be room for improvement in your own attitude, your own well-being, your own behavior, your own habits. So you could come to the table and say something like, where I see room for improvement is I really need to get my health under control. And the dinner on this one particular night had this and this and this, and that doesn't really fit the goals I'm working on. So what I see room for improvement on is changing the food that's in that meal, right? Or omitting this option or this ingredient or whatever it is. So that's something really simple. But something else could be like, what I see room for improvement on could be, I'm noticing that when I get upset, I don't want to talk about it and I hide and then I hold on to it. So I see that I can improve on in that moment saying, hey, I'm noticing I'm getting upset and I want to do something about it sooner. So room for improvement could be something that your partner is doing that you're seeing like as a team or as an individual, they could improve upon because it's going to support the other person or you two as a unit. Or the other thing is it might have more to do with like their own personal attitude towards something or a habit. So you each talk about that where you see room for improvement. Now, the key with seeing room for improvement is doing your best not to take things personal and also allowing if somebody takes something personal because feelings do get hurt. Some people take things more personally than others, I being one of those people. And so it's very easy for me, for example, when I have a sit down or have a conversation, like I might start tearing up, I might start getting, like taking offense to something. And I have to remember this is ultimately, I want truth and honesty in my partnership, right? Good morning, Ben. Hi, how are you? I want truth and honesty in my partnership. So it's important to me to remind myself of that. And then it's also important that my partner knows that Holly gets emotional about stuff. And it has nothing to do with him if my eyes well up with tears for a second, that I'll be fine. I'll get through it. But the honesty is the most important part. Okay. So those are the first couple steps. Set the time for a weekly sit down. Start by telling each other what you appreciated about the other person from that week, either something they did for you as a great teammate, a great partner, or something that they just, I don't know, like helped you out in some way. And then the second topic you get into is this is where I see room for improvement. And that could be see room for improvement in something that you yourself are doing or something that the two of you could do together, or maybe even something that your partner is doing that you're like, hey, I'm noticing like as of lately, you stopped your meditation or your prayer practice every day. And I'm noticing that your mood is kind of been a little crankier, So that could be room for improvement, just bringing it up. And it's a very gentle conversation. And then the third and final step is the two of you come up with solutions together. And again, if someone takes it personal and is hurt, there might need to be a moment for that. We can't really create solutions in this conversation until all the emotions are neutralized, right? Like neutral to positive. So people might need a moment to calm down. But this is a great opportunity then to come up with a solution. So it's like, you know what, you're right. I have been a little moody this week. I do need to get back to my prayer and meditation practice. You could really help me this week by reminding me at 7 a.m. to like, hey, 6:30 a.m., sit up in bed, 5 minutes, go. And like be that cheerleader, that reminder, that encourager, something like that. Or the food changes or the habit changes. So you could be accountability partners. You could talk about, okay, the next time that we discipline our kid together, we won't do it this way, we'll do this instead, so that we can be more of a united front in disciplining as opposed to like good cop, bad cop. So that's the secret key to healthy longevity in your relationship, is having a designated time that every single week the two of you touch base really quickly. And you might sit down and it might just turn into a conversation where, hey, this is what you did. I loved this week. I really appreciated this. I don't see any room for improvement. You're awesome. High five. Good night. Go to bed. Right? Like it could be all positive. But what this does is it decreases the bad habit that some people have of holding on to things, or it also eliminates that moment where people are like, I don't want to talk about difficult stuff because we're having a good day and I don't want to ruin that good day by bringing up the difficult stuff. But if you have a weekly time where you can clear off, reset, kind of like you reset your phone by repowering off and powering it back on, this gives you an opportunity to do it. Resentment and emotions like that don't build up as often. It creates open dialogue between the two of you. So instead of that whole thing of like happy wife, happy life, where one partner is overpowering and one partner becomes passive, having the weekly conversation creates a space where both of you are welcome to contribute, to hear one another, to contribute to the solution. And it works. It works. It's really effective when you get it down and you discover with the two of you like what works best for you. It's a game changer. It's absolutely a game changer. And when your kids are old enough, this might even be something you do as a family. You do this at Sunday dinner, right? And then your kids can start to chime in, or rather your teenagers maybe, right? Like teenagers or middle school, high school would be old enough to join in on this. But even they could join in on the conversation and say, you know what, Dad, like this, what you did this week for me that I really appreciated was this and this and this. And what didn't work for me this week was when you said this in front of my friends. And I would have rather you said it when my friends weren't there, and in private, or, I don't know, they'll share with you. But a weekly meeting as a couple, weekly meeting as a family, the secret key even to healthy longevity in your relationships, fixes so many different things. So I hope this was supportive. If you watch this live, please put a 1 in the comments or type live. If you watched on the replay, please put 2 in the comments or type replay. I appreciate you being here. I didn't have a lot of people here today, so I don't know. I hope this topic helped somebody. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts and the comments. Even if you just say hello, tell me where you're watching from, or type live or replay. I really appreciate you tuning in and being here. And again, my virtual boot camp, the 3 Secrets to Better Communication in Your Relationship, will be beginning on June 20th. June 20th, 21st, 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's only $37. I'm going to give you all the value, all the recordings, over $500 in bonuses on top of that. So if you're interested in learning those 3 secrets, just type bootcamp in the comments below and I'll get you the information so you can grab your spot. All right. And that's all I have for today. Again, I'm Holly Berube. I am your relationship coach. And until tomorrow, love always in always. Bye, everyone.